Hello and welcome to A Genteel Black Hole, the home of my bookish rambles. My name's Ali, and sometimes I buy books. Occasionally, I even read them. I've had this channel for a little while now, a few months, and I've not yet made one of these haul videos. But my pile of recent purchases is growing somewhat, so I thought I would make a little video about the stuff that I bought and have a little chat about them, about why I bought them, whether I've read them yet. I haven't. So the first book that I've got here is The Diary of a Nobody by George and Weedon Grossmith. And it's one of these kind of pocket-sized hardbacks by Macmillan Collectors Library. This one I bought because I've just started listening to a podcast called Educating Daisy, which stars Daisy May Cooper, who you may know from stuff like This Country or Taskmaster. She has this podcast, Educating Daisy, where she gets other comedians or celebrities to come in and recommend a book to her to try and get her to read it, because she doesn't really read, for pleasure at all. Spoilers, so far no one has succeeded in getting her to read a book. But anyway, the first episode was Tim Key, and he brought in The Diary of a Nobody, and just the way he talked about it, it sounds really fun. As the name suggests, it's the diary of a nobody, just kind of nobody in particular, just a man, just a normal man. But he seems to have just the worst luck. The way that he discussed it and some of the excerpts that he read from it, it made me laugh. I thought that this might be a fun little read, so I've taken a risk on this. Another pocket hardback from the same line that I've got is Passing by Nella Larsen. This is on my kind of yearly TBR list, so I went ahead and got this copy of it. I haven't got around to reading it yet, but it sounds fascinating. It was published in the 1920s, I believe, and was kind of influential as part of the Harlem Renaissance, and it's about a black woman who passes for white. One day she gets a message from a childhood friend, and it kind of puts her place in white society at risk, because she might be found out. She might stop passing. It sounds like a really interesting book. It's also pretty short, so I'm hoping to read that fairly soon. Don't know exactly when, but I'll keep you up to date with it, I suppose. I also picked up a couple of pocket hardbacks of things that I have read before, but I want to reread. I read them in ebook form, and I liked them so much that I wanted to get physical copies. So first we have Anne of Green Gables by L.M. Montgomery, which I only read last year on ebook. I think I read it like at bedtime on my phone. I was absolutely charmed by it. I was really surprised by how much I loved it. I thought it would probably be fine, but absolutely beautiful, wonderful book. So I really wanted my own physical copy of that to revisit soon. Another slightly chunkier one is Jane Eyre, which again I first read on ebook, and I think the ebook edition that I had, there were some formatting issues with it, but by the time I realised I'd already bought it, so I just coped with it. But I know that if I want to read it again, which I do, I'll want a nicer copy that's better formatted. So I went for this nice pocket hardback edition from Macmillan. Next we have a couple of second-hand paperbacks that I found from my local second-hand bookshop, Regent Books and Furniture. I found a couple of matching John le Carre books. We have Call for the Dead, the very first one, and also A Murder of Quality, which is the second one. And I haven't read either of these before. I've listened to radio adaptations of them with Simon Russell Beale, but I've not actually read them. I think I've also seen a film of the first one, although James Mason plays the George Smiley character, but he's renamed for legal reasons. So yeah, I know the stories of both of these, but I wanted to read them, so I've got them. And unlike a lot of le Carre, they're pretty slim as well. So hopefully it won't take me too long to get through these ones. And another thing that I found at my local second-hand bookshop is Rivers of London by Ben Aronovich. And this one, it's been on my radar for a while. I'm a massive Whovian, and Ben Aronovich wrote one of my favourite classic era stories, Remembrance of the Daleks, from the Sylvester McCoy era. So I've been wanting to read his books for a while, and this being the first of the series, I thought it was a good place to start, and I'd happened to see it on the shelves at my second-hand bookshop, so yoink, as they say. And this is also one of my friends' kind of comfort reads, along with Pratchett, that I share that with them, and I thought it would be nice to also read this. Haven't yet, but I will eventually. And the last of my recent purchases is Cracking Cryptic Crosswords by Colin Dexter, who's better known as the creator of Inspector Morse, which I have never read Inspector Morse. I've never seen Inspector Morse. Despite coming from Oxfordshire, I've somehow lived 38 years without having seen a single episode of Morse. But I have recently been getting into cryptic crosswords, and this was recommended by a friend as a good kind of guide on how to crack some of the trickier puzzles. And I've read a few chapters of it. Some of it kind of made my brain hurt a bit, but so far it's quite useful. I'm kind of going through it slowly, just a chapter or two every now and then. I don't want to power through it. But one of the reasons I've been trying particularly to get into cryptic crosswords recently is because John Finnemore, one of my favourite comedy writers, has a new book coming out, which is a kind of sequel of sorts to Kane's Jawbone, which was a murder mystery puzzle book, which was published on loose unnumbered pages that you had to get them in the right order and then solve the puzzles on them and work out who did the murder. And John Finnemore has written a new one in that format, which, being a massive Finnemore fan, I really want to read that, but I know I'm not going to get anything out of it at all if I can't do cryptic crossword clues. So that's why I have got this. So wish me luck with that, I guess. And I think the John Finnemore book, The Researcher's First Murder, I believe. If I'm wrong about that, I'll do a pop-up with the right title. But anyway, that comes out, I think September, if I remember rightly. Maybe August even. But anyway, I will talk about that when I get it. But in the meantime, yeah, I will have a little look through this and see if it helps me at all with solving John Finnemore's book. So that's everything that I bought recently, at least in physical form. I have bought some ebooks as well. I tend to have a rule to myself to only buy ebooks like the day that I'm going to start reading it, so I don't kind of end up with too big of a backlog. Don't always succeed in that, but I try. But anyway, those are all of my recent physical book purchases. Let me know in the comments what you've bought recently, or maybe let me know which one you think I should read first out of my pile. I'm not going to say I'm going to, but you can leave a comment anyway. So, yeah, until then, see you next time, whenever that is.